Hello, everyone, and welcome back to I Love You, Colonel Sanders. Well, in the last episode, we lost a battle with Ashley and Van with foolish mistakes, but it led to us being able to have a moment to talk with Senpai himself, Colonel Sanders. Colonel Harland Sanders. We also spoke with the flying spaghetti monster disguised as a spork and mashed potato monster. So yeah, that was fun. And we definitely found out about some dark arts being handled at the school. It's starting to get a bit Hogwartsy up in here. Anyway, it's time for us to go back to Colonel Sanders' hideaway so we can discuss. Wink. A personal invite. You can't imagine what Colonel Sanders' home must be like, but it sounds like you're about to find out. Stepping inside Sanders' home, surrounded by his things, you start to feel a special bond with him. The baby on the wall that still has a goatee, I love it. It looks like you live such an exciting life, Colonel Sanders. Every day can be an adventure if you approach it with the right attitude. Long ago, I made the decision to never stop searching, never stop working, and never stop imagining. Have you been working on any new recipes of your own lately? I'm always excited to talk about food with another ambitious chef. Well, there is something. It's just a side dish I've been tinkering with, trying to figure out the right balance of flavors and textures. I'm not sure I've nailed it yet, but I'm close. Colonel Sanders' eyes perk up as he starts to wonder what that dish might be describing. What dish you might be describing. It's meant to pair with something spicy or something crispy, both perhaps? Now you've got him right where you want him. You should reveal your new creation to him. Or keep it a secret just for you. Well, let's reveal it. You decide you're as ready as you'll ever be to share your original cooking with Colonel Sanders. Before you can talk yourself out of it, you decide to dive in head first. You reach into your lunch bag for a special dish you've been keeping on ice all day. I present it to you, my original coleslaw. The shredded cabbage dish glistens in the light of Colonel Sanders' Luxe hideaway. Magnificent! Together you chow down on the creamy slaw until a spoonful remains in the bowl. Do you mind if I hold on to the last bite? I'd like to have it around so that I can admire its taste later and think back on this moment. You could offer him more, but he seems like a very sentimental kind of guy. Sure, why not? Please make yourself comfortable. I'll be back in a minute. You realize that now would be the perfect time to do some snooping. Around the room are various items you can look closer at. Each item seems to radiate memories and emotions. Tap on the item you want to discover more about the Colonel. What is this dark, thing? This must be where he keeps the secret recipe. You think for a moment. What number is important to Colonel Sanders? Then it dawns on you. As soon as you turn the dial to 111111, the safe opens. Find a single note. Can chicken be prepared sashimi style? You gaze out the window across the vast lake and mountain range beyond. Just then, the ghost of student pops up. Are you thinking about heading out into the world on a quest to avenge my death? Wait, what? I never even learned your name. Why would I avenge you? I could just tell you my name right now. It's... Can't you see I'm in the middle of something? You open the window a crack, and the ghost is swept out with a breeze. Poor guy. Yes. An adorable little baby boy crawls across the floor. From the goatee and mustache combo he sports, you figure this must be Colonel Sanders himself. That, or maybe the drumstick that he seems to be waving. Maybe it's the drumstick. He seems to be waving like a rattle. Who frames a baby picture of just themselves? Probably the same sort of person that would make their own face the logo of a company they founded. Am I right? Ooh. Scented candle. A scented candle. You pick it up and try to identify the smell. Power tool? Freshly starched collar? A Piece of wood floating in a lake? That looks like gravy to me. Summer of 69? No. It's one of the secret ingredients. It's redacted. Ooh. I want to learn a little bit more. Chicken. You notice a very realistic stuffed chicken sitting on the corner table. When you pick it up, you realize it isn't just realistic, it's real. Taxidermy must have been important to Colonel Sanders when he was alive. A little note clipped to the chicken's foot reads, "The true state bird of the great state of Kentucky." You take a closer look at the urn sitting on a nearby pedestal. There's a plaque on it. It's dusty, but when you wipe it off, you can read the inscription. It says, "Here lie the ashes of my past careers and business failures." Poor guy. I wonder if we can get away with reading everything. A lock of silver hair is woven through the teeth of the comb. Upon further inspection, you realize that the hair therein isn't just silvery in color, it's actually made of spun silver. Okay. One of the framed photos shows an old man who looks a bit like Colonel Sanders standing with a friend. They hold fried chicken drumsticks and appear to be cheersing them. No, they don't. You look closely and see there's a short inscription. I wonder who my friend Pete is. The photo appears to be Colonel Sanders, except he's an old man visiting the pyramids of Egypt? Maybe this is where he discovered one of his secret herbs and spices. Alright, I think we're good. You open the door to Colonel Sanders' closet and find a row of his signature white suits hanging within. You take one off its hanger and try it on. The jacket is a bit big for you, but it's soft and comfortable. You give yourself a deep hug, breathing in his scent. They say that home is where the heart is. Is this what they meant? Before you can look any further, you hear Colonel Sanders returning. He has a new dish that he has been working on, and he wants you to taste it. You try to act casual until he asks you why you're wearing his jacket. I don't usually loan those out, but I must say it does look good on you. Oh crap, the jacket! You forgot to take it off! You decide now is your moment to make your big move. You fess up and tell the truth. You tell him you're cold. Let's fess up, not make the big move just yet. You confess. I think I've developed feelings for you. I might be developing feelings for you too, but I'm concerned. I can't let anything get in the way of my dreams. Overwhelmed, you take off the jacket and run to the door. But the thought of leaving Colonel in the midst of such an emotional breakthrough gives you pause. You stop yourself. Colonel? Yes, Shade. I honestly think this may be the beginning of something wonderful. I think you're right. We should take things slow. You talk late into the night and drift off into a slumber. Dream sequence. What about the food? What was it? You awake to a beautiful morning in Colonel Sanders' hideaway. Did you make the right decision on how to respond to Colonel Sanders? Only time will tell. Today is a day that could change the rest of your life. You think about the new recipe, the new secret ingredient you just learned about. Redacted. In some jurisdictions, redacted isn't even legal, but if the recipe is a secret, how will they know? Your thoughts are interrupted when Colonel Sanders emerges into the room. He's holding a gorgeously plated breakfast, and your mouth is watering at the sight of it. Here's a simple breakfast I just whipped up. It's meticulous. You taste Colonel Sanders' food, and it takes you on a journey. When you return, he's waiting to ask you an important question. So, would you say we're the perfect match? How presumptuous. My cuisine and your taste buds, that is? Such confidence, such grace. Could he be the world's greatest gift to cookery? Flatter him or take him down a peg. I'm not going to be a dick to him, he just made me breakfast. And also let me stay the night in his house. You know, I think we make a great team. A single tear begins to pool in the corner of his eye as he gazes out the window. Aw. And with the right business partner, I know I can't fail. Business partner, could he be talking to you? It's all happening so quickly. Overcome with emotion and confused by your feelings, you're on the verge of tears, unable to speak. And the only answer you can find is to run out the door and get home. There's still one more day of school after all. The University of Cooking School Academy for Learning waits for no one. You get home to find something very surprising. Your best friend is there waiting for you. Where have you been? Because I had one heck of a night. I've been desperate to talk to you about it, but I couldn't find you. I got worried that something had happened to you. It's okay. I was just... But now that it turns out you're fine, I can finally get you up to speed on the saga of Miriam. Excuse me. Sure, but you will not believe what happened to me after school yesterday. I went on a date. I think I can believe that. Since I've been partnered up with Pop, he asked me to go out with him. Of course I told him, you'd better harness those wild horses, young man. I'm not that kind of girl. But he was interested in spending some one-on-one time together and getting to know me, so I said sure. I can get to know the little guy. Long story short, he took me to his favorite shush house, but things quickly spiraled out of control. She just say shush house, as if that's a thing people say. What is it even referring to? Yep, that's what I thought. And now I'm not really sure where we stand. You don't give Miriam time to tell her whole story, however. Bottling up the details of your own night is just too much to bear. I went on a date too, back to Colonel Sanders' house where I spent the night with him. You what? Nothing happened, but the emotional connection. Wowzers. Miriam offers to support you no matter what you do. Geez, I'm gonna need a drink. So much talking. I really thought this game was going to be a lot longer, but maybe it's only going to be the 3 or 4 episodes, because there's only 3 days of school, so I guess we'll see. Together with your bestie, you feel like you can do anything. When you arrive at school, you encounter your rivals in the quad. You can tell from a distance that they're picking on Pop, though he himself might not quite grasp that fact. Because, you know, he's Pop. I like Pop. What's a swirly? Sounds delicious. Oh, it's great. I'll order you one up right away. I'll have my swirly with sprinkles, please. Sprinkles is a dog and a treat. Oh, it is too. You can get your swirly dipped too. Why don't you pick on someone your own size? Because I'm literally the biggest person in this school. There is a horse at Colonel Sanders. There is that horse that Colonel Sanders rides to school, but who would dare pick on such a gentle and beautiful creature? You've got some nerve, Shade, suggesting I pick on a defenseless horse. Now you're twisting my words, and I won't have it. You clench your fist, but the injury from yesterday's mixer accident makes you wince with pain. Doesn't look like you can go on cooking like that. Might as well just give up. I'll never give up, ever! Colonel Sanders arrives. Just as it appears things are close to boiling over, a naturally intuitive person, he senses that something has been going on. Is everyone excited for the final day of school? Shade, how's that hand feeling? I'm sure you will be back in fighting form by this afternoon. Aren't you concerned about my hands, Colonel? Yesterday I almost broke a nail winning so hard. Technically, I don't believe a winner was decided, but your presentation was quite impressive. What is he doing complimenting her? What about the flavor of my delicate, warm, gooey chocolate sauce? It was clear that you're passionate about how your food is received. That's a lot of words to say it was bland. Excuse me, Shade, I'm more than capable enough to speak for myself. Maybe you could tell me more of your thoughts as we walk to class, Colonel. I'm always interested in discussing the fine arts of fine foods. See you inside, Shade. Annoyed by Colonel Sanders' inability to see Ashley for who you know she really is, you walk across the quad to get some distance. In an attempt to distract yourself from how slighted you feel by that interaction with Ashley, you take out the spellbook you recovered yesterday and start flipping through the pages. Wow, that's the book? It looks like bad news. It's just something I found lying around. It would appear to be some sort of grimoire, but I don't really believe in that magic stuff. A grimoire? Like a book of spells? I don't know. Who would spend so much time decorating a magic book if it weren't really powerful? I can think of one surefire way to find out. You open to a page with arcane warnings, cast only in the case of extreme emergency. It says around the edges of the page. I could use this spell here, and it says it will erase anyone I choose from all of my memories. If I scrub out Colonel Sanders, it would probably help me focus better on the upcoming final exam. That's way drastic. Couldn't you do something else, like anything else, not rooted in dark magic? Maybe tie a string around your finger? Okay, fine. It is drastic, but desperate times call for desperate measures. You've got a memory erasing spell sitting right in front of you, and a pretty good excuse to try it out. I'm not going to do that. Hell no. You take your friend's advice and put the book away. It's almost time for class. Sprinkles is already in the room, waiting for the students to arrive. He clears his voice to make a quick announcement. I want you all to know I feel something of a dog moment coming on, but I assure you, it's nothing to be afraid of. His cute little nose scrunches up and he begins to breathe quickly. He must be hungry. Reach for some old homework to give him as a snack. Dogs can be rather unpredictable, especially Sprinkles. Wait and see what happens. Sprinkles stops in his tracks. He focuses in on the window. The room is deadly silent. When you follow his gaze, you see a tiny orange squirrel perched on the cherry tree outside. Sprinkles turns feral and runs to the window of the classroom. He begins barking uncontrollably at the squirrel outside. Terrence! I told you never to come back here! Terrence! I will destroy you, Terrence! Sprinkles is barking ferociously, drool flying off his face. The squirrel looks over, but he doesn't say anything back. I wonder, is that even a talking squirrel? Who named him Terrence? You'd better not show your chubby cheeks around here ever again! After Sprinkles is satisfied that his presence has been felt, not only by Terrence, but by the other squirrel in hearing distance, he returns to his professional tone. Ahem. I apologize for the outburst. This actually brings up an important point. Thank you, Shade, for reminding me to dole out this indispensable bit of wisdom. You see, but before he can go on any further, Miriam's love drama spills over into the class. Sprinkles is interrupted by the sad whimpering coming from the back of the room. I told you to save it for after class. But I miss you. We went on one date, Pop. How can you miss me when I'm right here? Pop's voice quivers as he pleads his case to Miriam. Every time I blink, you go away again. Aww. That's a really cute thing to say. Miriam, what happened between you and Pop? I got her in trouble, and now she's mad at me. I didn't just get in trouble. I got yelled at by Pop's mother, who blames me for him getting banned from every museum we set foot in. Oh, that's what you meant by shush house. Pop, we went on one date. We're over. And it meant so much to me that I made this for you. Too hurt to go on arguing. Pop leaves his creation behind and runs out of the room. Aww. Jelly, pretzel sticks, corn, peas, a fried egg. Or is it a hard-boiled egg? Who knows? Gross. Nothing like a loud public breakup to cast a pall over the final day of school. Well, that was unfortunate. But we mustn't be distracted from what lies ahead. The final competition showdown, challenge, exam. I'm still working on that title, but I think you get it. Test time approaches! See you all in the arena. But before you can think about your upcoming competition, there's a very beautiful soul nearby, in need of a pep talk. Hey Miriam, are you okay? Okay, I'm so mad I could smash his tiny mug, spilling several droplets of hot cocoa all over the floor. How could he embarrass me like that in class, in front of everyone? Her tiny cocoa is a delicious treasure. So you know that this breakup is no joke, even if the source of her frustration is such a silly boy. I know that you know this, but I'm going to say it out loud. You don't need anyone. Me and you, we're gonna cruise through this final test and hit the carpool lane to Success City. Miriam brightens up, imagining the wind rushing through her short bangs, but she hesitates to embrace the feeling all the way. You're not going to saddle up on Colonel Sanders' stallion and ride off into the sunset without me? Of course not. Well, maybe, sorta, but I'm sure there's a pony out there with your name on it and a ranch big enough for both of us, whoever else we want to bring along. If it's not Pop or Clank, or anyone else you meet today, tomorrow, or this year, so what? You're a special person who shouldn't settle for the first someone to show a little interest anyhow. Miriam gives you a big hug and wipes the tears from her cheeks. I should really review my menu for today. I'm going to make a very special soup. And I bet that Professor Dog is going to love it. While you were pep-talking Miriam, you completely missed lunch, but that's okay, because you had a better idea of how to spend the time before your exam. You decided to head over to the arena early to practice a dish. This is it, the location of your final challenge. A test of will, a test of courage, a test of talent. And a chance to beat the pants off Van Van, the supposed man-man, and his evil counterpart Ashley. As planned, you begin to run through a quick test of a recipe you've been working on, Shade's famous chicken pot pie. After practicing for months, making this dish comes second nature to you, and you're able to quickly get a fresh pot pie in the oven, but as soon as you do, your cram session is interrupted by Colonel Sanders. Ooh. Shade, what are you doing here? There's still time before the final exam. Oh, just taking it all in. I'm big into visualizing success. I'm looking at my station and picturing victory. The pot pie has begun to bake, and the smell is slowly filling the space around you. Visualizing, huh? That's too bad. I was hoping you were here cooking something delicious. You'd usually happily share your food with anyone who is hungry, but the last time you let Colonel Sanders get in your head, it cost you the cook-off. You decide it's time to put your cooking above your romantic desires, but that decision gets hard to stick to when the oven timer goes off behind you. I'm gonna fess up about my practice dish. Okay, yeah, you got me. I'm doing a little more than visualizing. I know, my nose can smell a pot pie from 400 yards. That's an oddly specific distance, but you'd expect nothing less from such an oddly specific man. You knew it was a pot pie just from the smell? Not just a pot pie, but a chicken pot pie. With an all-butter crust. And my nose is telling me something else. Oh no, is it burning? Haha, no, I can smell that it was made with a helping of TLC. But it'll probably start burning any second if you don't pull it out. The moment of truth. Wow. It's the best pot pie I've ever tasted. I've always loved country cooking, and I could eat this all day. There's no time left. The final showdown is about to begin. Sprinkles lays down the ground rules. There are no rules. That is, except cook with everything you've got. You step up for the cook-off of a lifetime. You decide that mac and cheese plus pot pie you've been practicing are just the dishes that'll push you over the edge to victory. Meanwhile, both Van Van and Ashley are prepping wildly elaborate dishes, per their usual over-the-top selves. Miriam has her giant magnifying glass and several sets of tweezers. She's definitely prepared to go big going small. Colonel Sanders appears to be harnessing his 11 herbs and spices, but he's trying to find a way to improve on something perfect. His original recipe, fried chicken. The intensity in the room starts at a full 10 out of 10, with a frenzy of action. Everyone is calling out really cool special cooking moves as they prepare their food. Wow, this is getting serious. Colonel Sanders batters his chicken as it levitates through the air. Egg wash! Miriam furiously injects ingredients into an itty-bitty pot of broth. Best friend batter blaster! Van Van flexes his pectorals as he chops open a sea urchin. Let's rock and roid! Ashley scoops her pastries off of the tray with lightning speed. Shallow personality spatula! Even Clank gets in on it. 5-dial pressure point chicken cooking technique. Wait, when did Clank learn to speak English? It's a singularity, as was foretold. We mustn't let it happen, or the appliance uprising will take us all. Self-destruct. Van Van quickly unplugs Clank and rolls him out the back door of the arena. As you frantically prepare your dish, you notice Ashley has her spellbook out. Is she going to use some dark magic to turn the tide? You've got a spellbook of your own, and you're desperate to not see her win another battle. Should you take this opportunity to fight magic with magic, even if it's almost certainly evil magic? I'm gonna do it the hard way. Who needs magic when you've got passion? I'm going to do it the hard way. Colonel Sanders sees that you've chosen to win win on your own terms, and he gives you a subtle wink from across the room. I believe in you. Miriam notices too. And I've always believed in you, since we were little kids, because I'm your best friend forever. You turn to notice Miriam is at your station cheering for you. I need another drink. Jeez, I think we might go overtime for this episode because it seems like it's wrapping up. Miriam, what about your dish? If you're here cheering, who is cooking? Tiny food, short cook time. I'm actually already done, so I thought I'd help you. Oh, that's sweet, but Miriam tosses a handful of spices directly into your boiling noodles. It's the secret ingredient. However, she doesn't know that you lied and the ingredient was made up. And where in the world did she get Eye of Newt from? The boiling pot explodes, sending Miriam flying backwards. The watery noodles begins to swirl in the air, bubbling up into a dark cloud that thickens and congeals before your very eyes. It is I, Steve, the Spork Monster. Steve, what happened to Borko? You're not here to battle me, are you? We Spork monsters are many. I think Borko had the day off. But you have conjured Steve, and I hate to battle. So I'd say you're doing pretty alright. Oh, hey, you're in the middle of a cooking competition. I love this stuff. It's better than TV. You crazy kids and your culinary skills really impress me. Mind if I hang out? I'm sorry, Steve, but I'm kind of in the middle of something. Do you mind? Steve the Spork Monster notices you've got the grimoire stashed beneath your cooking station. I see you're up to crisscrossed some magic items and accidentally summoned me, huh? Huh, yeah, you guessed it, sorta. If you're here, would you mind tossing some fresh noodles in that pot of salted water? I'd love to. I've always wanted to be a top chef, actually. You see, when I was just a little spork pup back in the old country. You can feel Spork Monster winding up to tell a very long and involved story. You don't know exactly where they came from, but it seems like it was probably lonely there. Actually, you know what? Maybe you should watch from the stands. I really need to focus on this competition. I understand. It's kind of like that time in Monster School that I had fallen asleep during scare tactics class, and then when I woke up, you toss a serious stare at Steve, and he takes the hint. Never mind, I'll tell you later. Good luck. Having suffered a huge setback, you don't know how you could ever win. We summon extra power from deep down within ourselves. I can do this. I have what it takes, and I came here to win. Your hair turns mac and cheese orange as culinary energy flows through your body. Okay. My heart is pure. My hands are steady. My taste buds have been preparing their entire lives for... Yes, Shade, you are the chosen one. You will avenge me. The power you've been summoning immediately fades back out. You interrupted my inspiring monologue. Sorry. My heart is pure, my hands are steady, my taste buds have been preparing their entire lives for this moment. I will show the world my cookery. You begin to levitate off the ground. Energy courses through your body. You know that with this power, you can do anything, except turn back time, which would be super useful because while you are powering up, your chicken pot pie overcooked in the oven and can't be served. But don't worry, dear Shade. You have suffered some setbacks, but all is not lost. Impressed with your fortitude, Colonel Sanders decides that you have earned his support. I've been watching you today, Shade, and I must say I'm truly impressed. You've been thinking on your feet and rolling with the punches. He steps up to your station and stands right beside you. I'm here to help. All you've managed to make is mac and cheese. Time is almost up and you're going to need it. But Colonel Sanders, what about the test? What will happen to you? What about the rules? Following the rules has never really been my thing. I follow my heart. What a guy. Colonel Sanders unfolds a delicate white towel to reveal the most delicious fried chicken tenders you've ever laid eyes on. And besides, some unexpected combinations have surprising effects and surpass their individual efforts. Are you suggesting, if we combine forces, we can form the perfect food union? Time's up, students. With time expired, it's the moment everybody's waiting for. You must now present your dishes. A handful of students stand tall, but the class seems incomplete. It seems we're missing some students. Pop? Clank? From off-screen you hear a pure and innocent giggle of what can only be... that can only come from one student. Haha, I'm flying! Sounds like he's coming from that broom closet over there. Miriam, would you mind? Inside the closet you see Pop, hanging on to a broom hook by the elastic of his underpants. Pop, get down from there right now. Let me guess, did Van have something to do with this? When somebody asks for a wedgie, who am I to refuse? I thought a wedgie was a salad. It looks like Pop is eliminated from the challenge, seeing as he didn't cook anything. I can't feel my legs. May I be excused? Sure. You kids and your pranks. I must say, it's not the worst prank at UCSAL history, but it's not exactly yearbook material. Wait a second, pranks? Pranks? Clank! Where did that pressure cooker roll off to? You wait to hear a signature word beep or onomatopoeia, but there is none. Somehow he must have got unplugged, I guess. We'll have to figure that out later. That only leaves 4 remaining students. Please collect your final projects. Yes, it has been a long semester. Jeez, what is with my throat today? Wow, 3 whole days long. But after days of hard work, the time has come for me to eat. Miriam, please step forward. Now, describe your dish. I've made tender udon noodles in savory soup. My word, it's so delicate. Is that a teeny tiny Naruto maki I spy afloat in this itsy bitsy bowl? Yes, chef. Please, call me Sprinkles. Chef's my father's name. Yes, Sprinkles, and I've got green tea made from baby tea leaves that I picked myself. Sprinkles carefully sniffs around the dish before opening his mouth and just the tip of his pink dog tongue lets it dip into the bowl. Sublime. Would anybody else like a taste? Oh, come on. I'm not one of those dogs who doesn't floss. I even have a really cute electric toothbrush for dogs. Fine, I'll enjoy it by myself. And in a flash, the entire meal has been destroyed. Not that it took much. It was less than a thimble's worth of soup. A+. Rarely do I taste a dish with as much love poured into it as yours. Miriam is overjoyed. She gives you a huge hug. Thank you, Shade, for helping me to believe in myself. Van, you're up. Now, describe your dish. I made uni over smooth egg custard in a axe-hewn urchin shell, topped with caviar. Did you skewer one type of urchin with spines from a second, different colored type of urchin? Yes, Sprinkles. A bit much, don't you think? That's exactly why I did it. A bit much is kind of my brand. Doesn't it look cool? Sprinkles leans in to sniff the uni, but he can't get his nose close on account of all the spikes. He begins to pour at it erratically, causing the custard to slush around. Woof woof. Please be gentle with my cuisine. Grrr. Finally, Sprinkles goes all in, tongue first, but he can't get past all the needles. He reels back, and his tongue is poked and prodded. Youch, my tongue! The professor appears to be having an allergic reaction to the sting. I can't eat this. It keeps poking my tongue. Disqualified. A stunning turn of events. Who would have thought that serving food in a bowl made of needles could make it difficult to eat? Dejected, Van Van does not go gentle into the night. Disqualified? For glamour? Don't discount simplicity. This isn't the last you have heard of me. Before forcing us to endure his swollen tongue for another moment, Sprinkles graciously laps up a bowl of milk. I know. I'm a dog and I drink milk. Get over it. Sometimes it helps calm my agitated tongue. Next student, Ashley, it's time to step up. Now, describe your dish. I made orange blossom Turkish delight in a light rosewater syrup, topped with French meringue, or I think that's meringue, and connected by sugar glass. That actually doesn't sound too bad. Indeed, it's quite delightful. However, I'd ask that you please refrain from eating it or attempting to taste it in any way. It's very fragile, and it's meant to be a display piece. Don't eat the food. At a cooking school? Got toast in your ears or something, Shade? I told you, it's a display piece. Ashley, I must say it is beautiful. However, this is a cooking competition at a cooking school. Yeah, which is why I cooked it, and I did an extremely good job of cooking it too. I didn't realize that we were going to have an eating exam. If I wanted to be judged on eating, I'd go to the College of Eating, School for the Hungry. I suppose you could smell it if you absolutely insisted, but don't breathe too hard, you might disrupt the sugar spiral. If the food cannot be eaten, it cannot be judged. You are disqualified. Rage overtakes Ashley, and she finally cannot keep her two-faced routine up. You wouldn't know high-end cuisine if it cooked you! And with that, Ashley storms off to rededicate herself to being the best, but this time without being shackled by trying to be fake nice and liked by everybody. This isn't the last you've heard of me either! If this class gets much smaller, I'll be teaching myself. You and Colonel Sanders, the final cooks, step up together. 2 chefs? What began as a delicious mac and cheese has become something else. He examines it closely, sniffing and eyeing the bowl. Uh-oh, I don't have a good feeling about this. From somewhere in the room, a literal drum roll plays. Just when I thought I'd seen everything in this kitchen, you give me this thing, and completely blow me away. In my 49 dog years of life, I've never tasted anything so delicious and perfectly balanced. It's so delicious, in fact, that everybody passes the class. You pass, you pass, you pass, and you get a pass. Everyone gathers around to partake of the mac and cheese bowl. But they all seem to transcend this reality and into another dimension. You win. Together, you and Colonel Sanders have made a new menu item. The new menu item is so impressive that even Van Van and Ashley are drawn back in by its magnetic fragrance. When they gaze upon your mac and cheese bowl, they admit that you are indeed an excellent chef. Sprinkles declares that you have passed. Everyone has passed. There were supposed to be more battles, but come on, how could they be better than this one? Now that the school year is complete and everyone has graduated, the students return for one last assignment, to get their groove on. The cafeteria has been completely redecorated in order to serve as the site of the school's graduation dance. Compared to the massive high-tech cooking arena, the humble decor seems downright cute and cozy. DJ Dog is in the house! Oh, 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 oh! You knew that Sprinkles was a master chef, but also a world-renowned turntablist? Who says you can't teach an old dog new tricks? Van Van and Ashley tell everybody that they've committed themselves to righting the wrongs they did while they were the villains. For a moment, you actually believe them. Not another haunting. No ghosts allowed at graduation. It's clearly written in the school's bylaws. I was never actually a ghost. It was all to trick you to finally get you to notice me. Oh, he's not dead. Oh, amusing. Now that everybody is together. It's a spork monster. He has totally mellowed out. Everyone, the spork monster is no more. From here on out, I'd prefer that everybody refer to me by my new name, the Party Monster. The student tries to finish what he had to say, but everybody is too wrapped up in talking to Spork. Sorry. Party monster. Dejected, the student walks off. Maybe things didn't work out for Miriam romantically, but she found the love in her cooking, and you know she's going to do great. A red carpet rolls out across the floor of the ballroom. It's like a Hollywood movie premiere. Who could command such an entrance? Who indeed? It's Pop! He's arrived late to the dance, but apparently for good reason. Walking the carpet, you see perched atop his dirty chef's hat. A crown? Welcome back, Pop. I know you weren't able to complete the final exam and accept your diploma, so we had it mailed directly to your father. We figured it was the least we could do for the school's dean. Oh, now I get it. And we get a new wing of the school? Not to mention the honor of educating the son... Oh. And we get a new wing on the school, and not to mention the honor of educating the son of the chancellor of such and such. Miriam, would you be my lady king? What an incredible turn of events! An offer to join the royal family. It's like a dream come true. You'll get to be a princess or maybe a queen. I'm not sure if he even knows, but either way, crowns and gowns, baby. I'm sorry, Pop. I'm not interested. Not now, at least. I've got much to do with my life. A twist on a twist! So many more 3-day universities to attend. So many Chinese foods to meticulously sculpt and then watch get accidentally blown away by a single sneeze. Okie doke. The music of the dance is interrupted by the sound of sparkling and electrical hissing. It's Clank, who has arrived late to the dance. Now that I have graduated, I can reveal the truth. Whoa, he's still doing the talking thing. I am Clank. I am not of this earth. I am actually from a faraway planet in another dimension. What? What? I actually feel like I knew this the whole time. Now that I have learned the ways of your kind, I must return. A portal opens up and Clank disappears through it. Finally, Colonel Sanders arrives. Howdy, classmates. Just like the first day you met him, he's come prepared to feed the entire class. However, it's not enough to just give them a bucket of chicken. This time it's a full meal. I didn't get to be the most famous chicken man in the history of chicken and man by not reminding people to go all out and buy my chicken. Okay, I'm going to take a moment here. So, that dish that we cooked before, the mac and cheese with chicken strips or whatever it was, yeah, we don't have that in Australia's KFC. What you call biscuits and gravy, we don't have that either, and also those are not biscuits, they're scones. And we don't dip them in gravy, we put jam on them and butter. And yeah, biscuits are something else entirely. And and we don't get separate gravy either. We can't get like a container of gravy. It's all potato and gravy. Weird, but it's still good. It's still good. The coleslaw is probably the same. Anyway. The end? No, it's not the end. As everybody feasts on their delicious chicken dinner, Colonel Sanders finds you sitting on the edge of the dance floor. Shade, what are you doing sitting all alone? Oh, you know, waiting for the right person to ask me to dance. I wonder, might you tell me, what are the qualities you would expect to find in such a lucky person? Off the top of my head, oh, I don't know. A spicy musk, a tidy goatee, and a degree from the University of Cooking, School, Academy for Learning, just to name a few. It truly is my lucky day. Would you dance with me? Yes, I would love to. As you glide across the floor, hand in hand with Colonel Sanders, the future stretches out in front of you. And once my 100th franchise is up and running, I'll be ready to take a day off. And I'll be so glad to spend it together with you, Shade. How sweet, we'll work together and play together. Colonel Sanders stops dead in his tracks. Work together? Well, I think this is something I'll need to do by myself. But who will help run your restaurants? I don't believe I need help. Besides, based on your time at school here, do you really think running restaurants is the best path forward? Could it be you found a love connection but failed to earn Colonel Sanders' respect as a chef? Can you live with only half of him? Will you be able to endure sharing him with his other love, the life of an entrepreneur? I suppose I could enroll at a pastry school. Oh, my dear Shade, I'm sure you'll find your place eventually. And along the way, you'll have me by your side. The end. Oh, man. Well, I guess that's that. I'm a little bit dejected, and you know, I was really kind of hoping to get some delicious chicken. Alright, that was I Love You, Colonel Sanders, a finger-licking good dating simulator. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I thought it was hilarious. Yeah, 3 episodes. I thought it was going to be a lot longer. And the reason I thought that is because... yeah, look at all this. Anyway, I guess maybe there's different ways to go through it. I don't know. Anyway, if you liked this, please like, comment, and subscribe. Ring that notification bell to stay up to date with episodes. I am going to do more visual novel games, at least a couple. I've got to do Doki Doki Literature Club and Dream Daddy. I don't know which I'll do first, but I'll do one of them. They're fun, they're hilarious, and Doki Doki Literature Club is kind of messed up. And I actually really love that game. Alrighty guys, well, I'll see you in the next series. Thanks for watching.